Hello, welcome to the podcast. This is Bristol Real. I'm Val.
I'm Jerome.
And I'm Tom. So this is our first podcast. So what were we discussing?
We were discussing urban exploration today, and we were introducing the podcast itself.
Okay, that's a decent start. It's a decent start, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it went alright, yeah.
Yeah, it was okay, wasn't it?
I mean, we'll hopefully get better as time goes by, but...
We'll do our best.
Yeah, it was okay.
Anyway, hope you like it. Right, well, we're both here because we're wondering why you brought us into this smelly little room today.
In fairness, it's not actually that smelly.
It's
just quite close.
It smells pretty bad.
It's-
Since I brought the maps from Saturday, we'll explain a bit about them later, I'm sure, but the maps are, they smell a bit. I think they started to rot.
It's a standard student thing, I suppose.
And there's those interesting stains on it.
It's not the worst and it's not the best.
I don't know what that is.
So anyway, why we're here?
Basically, I listen to a lot of podcasts, and I thought since we're in Bristol and we have access to a huge amount of academics, and Bristol, I think, was recently voted by The Guardian to be the most creative city in the UK.
So always getting that stuff. So.
Yeah.
So
I
also
one of the happiest cities.
Yeah,
Sorry
really?
to interrupt like that. Yeah. Continue.
So yeah, I thought we might as well have a go at. Because in normal life, you don't really get to sit down with people and just talk for an hour and a half about what they're doing, what they were working on, stuff that interests them.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought it'd be cool just to kind of have a go at trying that.
Yeah. Well,
absolutely.
I think it's a great idea.
Okay, yeah, let's go.
We're going to talk about it. Right.
We're still okay. Do you want to? Whether we can just start talking about it, I guess.
Yep.
Which one first?
Let's talk about it chronologically, shall we?
Alright. So, actually, how did we come up with doing this in the first place? I can't remember that. What was it that we
Wasn't
said?
me. Wasn't me.
I asked you if I was looking into Guide to Underground Bristol.
Right.
Oh, wait, so... Oh, yeah, you were telling me about the underground passageways.
Yeah.
And then we looked into it from there.
Through here, I came across... like, there was a scan from one of the books I actually got, where I had the tunnels were next to Harbourside.
Yeah.
Across Thekla.
Mm-hmm.
And then we kind of decided we probably couldn't do that straight away, so we'll find somewhere else.
Yeah, because we went down there to take a look at the entrance to one of them.
Yeah.
And then we had a group with us then. And then they make up the people who actually went with us to French Air Hospital.
The first time.
The first time we went, yeah.
Which I didn't go to. So, from what I recall, you guys had a bit of an explore then, but you didn't go everywhere.
Yeah, I think we were slightly apprehensive about it.
Yeah, we're a bit unsure of how intense the security was and whatnot. It turned out they're pretty rubbish.
I can't believe there actually are people
terrible.
Employed full time to guard that thing.
Yeah.
But obviously there are.
And the first time we saw the X-ray room. We got the book of X-rays, which is pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So there were a few different rooms. Weren't there? There was, what was it? The CT scanners. Is that where they used to be? They used to be there for a while, didn't they? After it got closed, they took them out. Was it the CT scanners?
Wait, in the room where we were.
Yeah. We had the big wires coming down.
Oh, those were the gas tubes.
Right.
They had the different gases from the pressures.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't look at it close enough.
You took a picture.
Cool. Right. So, did you go on the roofs that time?
Yeah. I mean, you had to.
We spent most of the time on the roofs.
The roofs are better, in my opinion. I mean, the inside's interesting and everything, but because it's such a modern building, it's not as wacky as, say, Parcel Force was.
Yeah.
Yeah, Parcel Force was good. It was much more difficult to get into.
Yeah, it was very satisfying to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, French A, I think the first time we went, because we were slightly worried about it, we didn't look around properly, and we also, I don't know, maybe we took it a little bit too seriously. Like, for example, do you remember when we were downstairs? It was I can't remember, I think it was like a bathroom or something, and we climbed through one of the windows where the glass is broken around the edge.
Oh, yes. And then we realised that there was a door on the other side.
Exactly.
We could have literally just walked straight in.
Yeah, there's a fire escape. Wow.
It's not about going the easy way, is it?
It was that room where you took what do you call it? Where you're hanging your clothes now.
Oh, right. Yeah. No idea what it's called.
No, I don't know. It was that room where we went through the fire escape.
Mm-hmm.
But that time we came through the windows, we didn't see the fire escape.
The gonad shield.
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
That's good, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so Then the next one, which I also missed, was the Parcel Force. So you said that was difficult to get into.
Easily the best though. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was really really good.
What route was it? Did you go down the route that I said with you have to go through some sort of recycling depot, or did you just hop over a fence somewhere else?
We didn't actually go through the recycling depot. That really helped to find it though.
There was some CCTV there.
Yeah.
So we just kind of went to the one side to the wood recycling project, and there was a wall with barbed wire on top.
Yeah.
So we climbed over that.
Yeah, this was at least what, I don't know, 9 feet high.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
So barbed wire at the top. On the other side, you had this rickety shack, which would have absolutely fallen through if you'd stood on the roof of it. So you had to navigate slowly along the edge.
wall, yeah.
Rocks slipping down in there. And then once you're on the other side, it wasn't even that easy. Thankfully, on the way there was one steel beam which made it a bit better. But yeah.
Yeah. So
getting in was very
I hear the whole adventure was a little bit precarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To say the least. Yeah.
Well, we started off we spent quite a while on the ground floor, didn't we? For like an hour.
We did, yeah.
And then we found we split up and then kind of went different routes into the basement. Found like 3 or 4 steel boxes of old postal route maps, and took a couple of those. And
yeah. Can you imagine navigating by them actually?
yeah, exactly. They were very, I don't know.
They were actually hand drawn,
And they were massive. In the sense that they weren't folded up or anything like a normal survey map. They were just
work out where I'm
there.
going.
So pull it out, cover up the entire windscreen.
Yeah.
Where am I going today? Yeah.
Unbelievable. I'm guessing they must have had to memorise the routes a lot better than they do these days.
Yeah, in a sense, obviously, because you've got GPS now, so it would make it easier.
It was a shame they didn't have the dates.
Yeah, it was a shame. But then there were in the basement. There were these wonderful signs where they had. I think it was a room which had a rectifier in it.
Okay.
They had these electrical safety signs from I think it was 1904 to
1944. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Absolutely crazy.
It didn't. Do you know when it shut down? When this thing actually got abandoned?
I mean,
quite
the oldest thing I saw there was because they had these old postal receipt boxes. I've got a few pictures of it. The latest one was 96. So probably closed around there.
Yeah. But the stuff that seems to be stuff that's been left there from even longer.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is kind of that's the bit that makes it more exciting than the hospital.
Yeah.
Because obviously we went the second time to the hospital. I actually went this time. But it was still amazing. It was it's atmospheric because it's a hospital. I think that was the main thing.
Yeah, it's creepy.
The Parcel Force was atmospheric because it was old.
Yeah, it would have been.
It was also creepy.
It was very. Yeah. It was.
In the basement in particular, actually, Christian and I had split off from the others. Just because we were looking around, enjoying it. And then we started heading back up towards the ground floor, but then we heard something, and it didn't sound like any others. So we turned off the flashlight and just started running, and there was this enormous room.
Logical.
Yeah, it was absolutely massive, and I knew in the middle of it there was you remember those potholes?
Yeah, there were random
falling down?
potholes in the floor full of, I don't know what.
Which was at least 1.5 meters drop, but it was down onto a pipe and a load of water. So we're running through this room. He was just flashing lights so we could see where we were going. So we wanted to get as far away from these people as possible. So we went around the entire thing in order to try and cut them off in the sense that we could go up as they went down. But then it turned out it was just them.
It was just them. So there wasn't actually anyone else in there at the time.
No, there wasn't. No.
It's a big place.
Yeah.
It definitely supplements your paranoia though. These sorts of things. I mean, like yesterday. Hearing the doors.
Yeah. So, yesterday was the hospital.
Yeah, French A Hospital again.
Yeah, on our way out, we were actually first when we were walking around the outside of the buildings, we came across a security guard with a flashlight. You remember that?
Oh yeah.
I didn't actually see that. I just
it was
it
his phone, wasn't it?
It was torch. She was pointing at the floor, walking.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I didn't realise that. I thought he was just looking at his phone.
No, he was walking with the torch from the floor.
If that hadn't been on, I wouldn't have spotted him because it was very dark and
he was quite far. I mean, he couldn't have seen us. It was dark.
Yeah, but we were in an open street that was reasonably well lit comparatively speaking.
Yeah. So, yesterday we were climbing all over the place.
Yeah, it was really good. We did go a lot further.
Yeah.
There's something just really exciting about.
That time where we climbed, we actually climbed 2 different buildings, separate in the main hospital. The one where we were over the 11,000 volts of electricity.
Yeah,
that was excellent. Oh, that felt like some sort of kind of Assassin's Creed location.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Climbing on the side of.
that was the one. Yeah, not
shimmying along.
It's fun doing along that wooden fence.
And then the other one was that weird kind of.
Separate.
Where we had to climb on the door handle to get onto the roof.
That was brilliant.
Yeah.
There was this big ivy, kind of filled with ivy, this chimney.
That picture was good.
In another time could have gone down there, but probably would not have actually got back up again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It was, yeah.
I think we need to invest in some bolt cutters.
Definitely, yeah. We need to do these tunnels.
Just if you want to make it even less kind of legal.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, legality of it.
Yeah. What is
Do
the
you
deal
know,
with?
do you know much about that?
I don't know. From what I've read, it's civil trespassing if you go into these kind of hospitals and Parcel Force Depot. They can't. You don't get a criminal record, but they'll escort you off the property.
Mm-hmm.
But then my flatmate who came with us last time said he did some research and that no matter what, they can't do anything. They have to get a court order to get you off the property, which I'm not entirely sure about that. It sounds a bit far-fetched, but...
From this, it's very simple. It's the 28 Days Later website. It says civil trespass, or known as simple trespass, is not a criminal offence in the UK. You cannot be arrested for civil trespass.
Huh. Why has he got a name then?
Yeah.
As in... So, yes, but can you get escorted off the...
You get escorted off the property.
Right.
But
so,
that's it. But if you get off the property anyway by your own means, without breaking any other laws, then I don't really see much difference between the two.
The thing is, it becomes different when you go into government-owned properties, I think.
Does it really?
From what I've researched, if you go into... that's the only thing about the tunnels. Because it's owned by the council, it might be different legality to it.
So these tunnels are what? These are future plans that we have?
Yeah, it'd be pretty cool to do that. They have some pictures of... the tunnels in there, and I've got the book I've got actually details all the different underground parts of Bristol.
Oh wow! So these are accessible underground parts, are they, or accessible if you know the right people?
I think it doesn't tell you how to get into them. It gives you more about where they are rather than...
There's a lot of history involved. I heard there were tunnels all the way under Park Street, and for a long time they couldn't build banks there because of the security issue. I think there is one on Park Street now, but obviously they've done something to kind of secure that against the tunnels.
Oh, okay. I've got the law about the government buildings here. It's some government buildings, so you're talking Royal Palace, nuclear power stations, and defence sites. So under that, the tunnels wouldn't be.
Right, okay. Oh, yeah,
no problem then.
It's all good then, yeah.
I think the feeling that there's something slightly wrong about it is kind of part of the excitement.
Yeah.
You know you're doing something wrong.
Yes.
It's the whole spirit of it, I think.
It gives a pretty unique adrenaline rush. Very,
Definitely. It's like when I bumped into that security guard yesterday, not last night, but that was absolutely incredible. The second I saw him coming down the street, I turned around, legged it, and ran so quickly back along the roofs.
Yeah.
Slipped over loads of times.
It was really icy, the roofs as well.
It was really icy, and it was icy at that one really bad spot on the way out. You know the one I mean? Where there's
the roof?
You know the drop? On the roof, yeah. You know there's you go up the stairway, then you go across the first roof, and then it's just a small part to get across, but to the left of you there's the drop down onto the pavement.
Yeah.
No?
I think I remember it.
Yeah.
There was a lot of slippy areas going on. It was particularly icy.
Yeah. I almost slipped quite a few times in that.
Yeah. Well, there was I think there was an icy roof quite near to the 11,000 volt thing, which seemed to be on actually.
It was. There was a humming sound.
The only thing in the hospital, apart from the odd mysterious light that was on.
Yeah, there were a couple of buildings without the lights on.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is. I don't know whether these things, the people are going there and look round them to kind of check people aren't in there, or whether that's still...
Maybe it was the security guard who we heard closing the doors.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was the security guard. I know what you said about the air pressure. It makes some sense, but I cannot imagine a time delay that much. It was at least 5-10 seconds after we had stopped. We'd been to the
this is a mysterious incident where just as we were leaving, we had the classic door slam, 100 meters odd. I don't know, to the right, I think.
While we were still inside the building, obviously.
Yeah, we started staring at each other, classic horror movie style. We're all gonna die.
Yeah.
You can't have a visit to an abandoned hospital without that, I don't think. So yeah, we think it could be an air pressure thing. I don't know if it could be a case of we displaced something and it was very precarious and then it fell over. I don't know.
I still don't think it's that. I genuinely think it's security guard.
I'm not sure.
It was twice. There were two. We heard it twice, didn't we? I think.
There was
two
the first
separate
slam, and then there was something slightly softer, but it was another.
I think that was one of those slow closed doors quite close to us.
Yeah.
That was actually us.
I mean, it could have been as in like 2-3 doors weren't fully closed, and then we closed one of them, and then that
You could get a
slammed
chain
both of
going.
them.
It was aggressive though. It was an aggressive
Yeah.
slap. I don't know whether we amplified it in our minds.
No, but
Because it gets quite psychological.
it's quite echoey in there as well, and like the corridors here in Unite House, they do it quite loudly as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's amazing the acoustics in that place. It's so easy to just get like total silence. Really,
Yeah.
if like there were times when I was on my own in quite a big room, it's kind of an oppressive level of kind of silence. It's amazing.
It actually is even better in the Task Force place. Yeah.
Part of
Underground.
Even though it's kind of
pitch black,
even though it's open on the
absolutely silent.
sides. I suppose there's the underground.
Yeah, the underground section.
It's completely silent.
Mhm.
You can hear nothing. Even though motion was, I don't know.
Directly
this,
across the
this
river, it was very fun.
massive, loud nightclub.
Yeah.
You're just totally isolated.
But the
from it.
basement, you couldn't hear anything. And there was asbestos on the stairs.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Like
I still got my clothes with all that crap on it in my room.
It's worth it. It's all worth it.
But then leaving. Actually, no. We got to the top of Task Force. Yeah. So we got up to the first. Yeah, we'll go up to the first floor first. Yeah.
First, we went to the first floor, climbed through a machinery room. That was how the width of it was.
The width of the actual entrance to the top was what, about less than the width of a microwave.
Yeah, probably.
Excellent comparison.
Yeah.
And then what was it? We spent like an hour and a half.
We spent a long time on that
floor.
Yeah.
Found some fire extinguishers.
Mhm.
And then what was it? Oh yeah, we couldn't access the other part of the building where the stairs were, so we had to climb on the outside of the building, a ledge that was maybe a foot wide.
Yeah.
And
I'm trying to visualize this.
and kind of made our way to that part, climbed through the windows.
This ledge that was about a foot wide, you had to hop over a wall that was about 7 or 8 feet high, and then on the other side of the ledge, which was on the other side of the wall, was a 10-meter drop plus. It was really fun. I mean, you definitely break something, definitely. Yeah.
Territory.
But then before we went that way, what we did was we climbed on a different outside part of the building to see if we could get up around this piece of this structure on the outside of the building.
Yeah.
And then there was this one cleaner in the station. Temple Mead Station actually lies flush with the first floor of the Task Force place. And this, it was comical, definitely, because he was cleaning outside. And then he would go into this room and he'd walk back and forth past the door. And we were trying to get Joan up onto this, it's sort of like a ladder to see if we could climb up through a different part of the building. And we were shouting at him as the cleaner went in and when he wasn't at the door and all sorts of stuff.
It turned out to be a completely pointless trip up the stairs because it led to nowhere.
Yeah.
It's part of the fun.
Yeah,
it's part of the excitement.
No, it is. Yeah, it is.
Totally not knowing what's going to be through the next door.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool thing to do. So what else have we got planned? There's lots of places around Bristol. It's amazing what you can find. There's so many abandoned hospitals for sure. There's a lot of them.
Like Barrow Hospital.
Yes.
The
asylum.
It was so annoying we can't do that one.
You have to act quickly with these things because they get demolished quite quickly.
Yeah, demolished
seemingly.
or renovated.
So Barrow Hospital was a psychiatric hospital, I think, that everyone says is haunted. So it's it was kind of being built up to the point where the war started. It wasn't actually finished when the war started. At that point, like everything, it was taken over. It becomes a wartime area. So it was taken over the Royal Navy, and then that was kind of for treating seamen who came back and were kind of just completely mental. And then eventually, at the end of the war, it came back to the NHS, but it never actually reached the status that it wanted to.
Yeah,
but they still
they
tried to expand it, but they expanded it poorly. They didn't build it in the same way that they were planning on building it. So the actual standards of cleanliness dropped.
Definitely dropped, which is why it got closed in the end.
Yeah. So kind of over the course of from 1960 onwards, it got smaller. It kind of started losing patients. Still got more and more unclean until 2005. It was deemed the dirtiest hospital in Britain.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That is quite an accolade.
Well, we've got a quote here. Inspectors found cigarette burns on the floors, graffiti on the walls, urine stains around a toilet, stains from bodily fluids on the bottom of a hoist chair. Don't know what bodily fluids. The report, combined with the collapse of part of the ceiling onto the head of a patient the same year, saw the closure plan brought forwards and the last ward closed the following year, so 2006.
Yeah,
can you imagine going there?
Yeah, especially when you already have problems enough as it is, and then you end up going there and you're thinking, okay, basically just gone to hell.
Yeah.
And how
Yeah.
creepy though would it be walking there? Like
walking.
before it had been knocked down. When if we had done this urban exploration.
This is it's a good 2 hours walk down to the south west, I think, of Bristol. So it would be quite a walk to get there. But I think it was quite a popular place. But I think the demolition was kind of brought forwards because someone set a fire there. Some idiot came in, decided to set it on fire.
So nothing to do with people trying to commit suicide.
Oh no! Yeah,
I only heard about this today.
yeah, there's a bridge near to Barragani, and so many of the patients there escaped and tried to commit suicide off this bridge that the council ended up installing a fence on said bridge, and it's terrifying. I saw this fantastic picture of it where there's fog over the bridge and they're looking at the fence, and it's like, ooh, it's really, really cool. But yeah, Barragani in general is frighteningly, it's way beyond French, eh? It's just because it's so much older, like you said, when it was built, I think it's terrible. It's got like those one-way mirrors where you can look at the patients, and it's got records, and it had bats in the ceiling. Yeah, there's
that would have been a
that would have been a really good one. I think it was either Whatever's Left or 28 Days Later that had a really good article on it and pictures.
Yeah.
And there were ghost hunters that went there. Yeah, because they were so convinced that it was haunted, they actually went out there and started listening to them, and I think they swear they heard something. I'll leave that up to you, but I think my paranoia would definitely say something.
Yeah, well, we had that thing with that loud noise in the hospital. You come to the conclusion that it's a ghost quite quickly because of all the films you watch. It's amazing how kind of being somewhere dark, not knowing what's around the corner, like the conclusions that can actually make you come to.
It's a shame we came up with the idea too late to do the stuff.
Yeah. There's a few.
We arrived in October and it closed October as well, didn't it? Or November.
It was very recent.
As in it got knocked down.
Yeah.
The remaining units, I can't remember which units they were exactly, but I know a few of them had been demolished and there were some left. Another thing, okay, sorry, this hospital is just so creepy. I remember it in fragments, but there's this one corridor which twists around as it curves, and sort of like, you know, in
what way? What do you mean? Like,
in the sense that it doesn't only curve, it twists too. So you have your verticals, but they're slightly offset as they go around.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, in a movie or something, when the main character sees the doorway warping.
Yeah.
Like
is that how it was built?
Yeah, that's how it's a really weird looking building because it was built, like you say,
in a rush.
In a rush to try and accommodate people. But
that's bizarre.
I definitely recommend looking at the website because it's interesting as hell.
Yeah. So there's a few other places. Again, a few cool ones that are now no more. We're now sat on the site of somewhere that used to be an abandoned ice rink. That was a popular
that looked
one,
really good
Really?
actually.
Oh,
that's
cool.
yeah. So in the building we're in, the student accommodation we're in now. There used to be this ice rink, which I'll have a look at some pictures.
What sort of building was it?
It was well, it was I think it was a classic kind of scummy ice rink building, but it was pretty cavernous from the looks of it. I'll see if we can get some pictures up. Yeah, so there's some huge areas here, changing rooms, all that sort of stuff. So it seems like they just there's loads of skates left, so it seems to have just been left in a hurry. Yeah, there's all sorts. Kind of that's the exciting bit about seeing these places. Just picking up stuff and bringing it home. I can see a few things in this room actually.
Yeah.
So I got that gonad shields thing. This is sort of like.
I still don't understand what it's about. Why would
X-rays?
Why would they have like a
placard to show you?
Yeah.
To demonstrate why you have to wear them. Because if somebody asked me to put something over my groin and they didn't explain to me why I had to do it, then I'd be slightly worried.
So
what are you going to do to me?
Yeah.
Why do I need to wear this?
Yeah, this thing had hooks on for the various sizes for different people. So kind of like size 1, age up to 2 years. So now I have my coats hung on that in my room.
I like they made the effort with the rainbows. The rest of it's just better concrete, but they put 2 rainbows on it.
The ice rink. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So a few other places. There's
I'm liking the baths.
Yeah, that still exists
I don't think I've
as we
seen
know.
those yet.
So Bristol North baths. That's in the process of being renovated. Well, kind of.
They've got scaffolding inside it.
Ah, great.
So,
nice. Makes it easy to get up, I guess.
So it's a case of, we better renovate this.
Yeah.
Give up. It's not been, there's been no work on it for a couple of years. So the scaffolding arguably makes it better because you can traverse it easier.
That's actually something about the parcel force, because I did a bit of research, and apparently some other company got the license to knock it down and build a new structure in its place, but it turned out that when they got the license, they never got around to actually doing it, so they ended up losing the license. And so now they're in the process of trying to get it again to knock it down. And Because it's in a prime location.
Yeah, it is. It's right next to the train station. I don't understand why it's not been done yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge, absolutely huge site.
I mean, then the thing was Frenchay. There wasn't that much left there to take.
No, there wasn't.
There were a few kind of signs and things like that. But the parts of Forest, there were those maps. There were kind of rusty wheels. What else was there? There, an old compact computer, like box from the 90s.
Yeah. I think there was stuff in French Aid, just it wasn't as novel because it was more recent.
It was new.
Yeah.
For example, the X
Recent.
It was cool.
Yeah.
These places are kind of like time capsules just in the middle of the city.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good way to describe them. That's what. Yeah, that's part of the reason they're so interesting.
I mean, people walk past them every single day, and
Yeah, everyone I spoke to had like I'm the same. I had no comprehension that these things are there's so many of them and they're so big.
Yeah.
It's these huge buildings full of stuff that people have just left, like in the middle of the city, and they just seem apparently not a crime to go and explore them. But I don't know. So what do we think? Next,
Are these the bats?
these are the baths. So this could be our next location. I'd want to go to the Parcel Force. I've not been.
we'll put the links for these places so you can actually follow the conversation. They'll be in the description of the podcast.
Yeah.
But
There's all sorts. There's some good websites to actually find these things. There's people who seem to make this their life. Yeah, this is these ornate staircases, and it was obviously quite a high end thing. When it was working, it was quite an expensive place to go.
Oh wow! Wait, what's that?
yeah. This is in the roof. The whole roof is accessible. It's amazing.
Nice. I still want to do a crane though. Obviously not during the winter, but at some point.
Iciness could be an issue there. So next, do you reckon the baths?
yeah.
That's a good option.
What are the other ones you've got there?
We've got, again, other ones that kind of in the process of being knocked down. There's this old cinema, which has been renovated. I'd really like to go to a cinema.
Does that say Rex Cinema?
The Rex Cinema, North Street, Bristol.
Ooh.
Yeah, but I don't know if this is getting renovated now.
Yeah.
It's all these kind of shops behind the stage.
Where is this?
North Street, I don't know where that is.
It's on the high street somewhere because this looks way too small to be further out.
Yeah, again, I don't know if this is gone. You're constantly working against time with these things.
Yeah.
How cool though would it be to bring our own projector and actually go there and watch a film?
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's hard to tell. You don't get a lot of news about these things, so you don't know what the current situation is. There was an old magistrates' court, but I think that's more student accommodation getting built over that.
It'd be quite cool to do sort of an old mansion or something like that.
Yeah. You'd have to travel a bit for that, I think.
Yeah.
You'd have to go out of the city.
Look how many cranes there are in that photograph.
Yeah.
4 cranes.
Cranes would be excellent, definitely. But I don't know if you have to get to a certain level to do that, I think.
Could we do an old church?
Yeah, there was that one.
There's got to be a lot of them.
On the other side of the river. I don't think that was abandoned. You know that one that we saw when we were working at the tunnel.
Yeah.
But something like that, because there are cathedrals everywhere. Aren't
Yeah.
there?
Churches look quite easy to climb because they're so ornate. Get up there quite easily.
And they always have those kind of staircases to the top of the...
Yeah.
What do
Wrap
you
your arms
call
around a
them?
gargoyle.
Spiral staircase.
Yeah. To the top of the tower or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
a spire.
Spire.
That's the one. Cool.
And the Clifton Rocks Railway, where's that? Well, obviously
I've got
Clifton,
need a key question mark. There's a lot of these. These like the tunnels underneath the city. There's one guy who apparently has earned the right to own the key to this thing.
Yeah, he's got a contract with the council, so they give him the keys to go through the tunnels, and you can pay him £3 per person, and he'll give you a tour around the tunnels.
Is that one day a year though?
No, I think you just have to contact him and pay him, and he'll take you down there.
Nice.
Yeah. So this railway is, I don't know if it was a kind of novelty thing, but it wasn't very successful. It's underneath the rocks by the suspension bridge. I'm not sure where it goes though.
Oh, actually,
Yeah.
Osh was talking about this. He saw kind of a cave system from. I think he was on the suspension bridge, and from there he could see a tunnel system we could try.
Oh, there is one. Yeah, there's a ledge that you can go to. It's just it is next to the suspension bridge. I think it's on as you're going across towards the Somerset side. It's on the right hand side.
Right.
Yeah, there's a hole in the cliff.
Okay.
I think that's still being used, definitely, because I saw people down there.
I
I
have.
think this railway is like a funicular system to get, because obviously there's these really high cliffs. So I think it's two diagonal funiculars that can get you up the cliff, which was obviously not very popular.
And have
But it's a great idea.
have people visited that area?
I think so. But it's it's a case of getting a guided tour, which isn't our spirit at all. We have to do something vaguely kind of frowned upon in order for it to be worthwhile.
Bristol low decker.
Yeah.
How weird though would it be if on the odd chance we actually go into one of these and on that same day at the same time he's taking some other group down there.
Yeah,
that'd
just
be terrible,
pretend we're in this group. Yeah, it's amazing. This place is quite a huge open space inside the cliffs. God knows how they built it.
Yeah, we can go back to it. There was actually one thing I wanted to mention. Did we actually talk? We didn't talk about how we ended up leaving Parcel Force.
Oh no, we
didn't
didn't
get
know
onto that, which is arguably one of the most exciting parts of it.
So once we had climbed on the outside of the building on that foot wide ledge and found the staircase from the second floor up to the how many floors are there? 6?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
It was literally just walking up straight, following the staircase, and we got to the roof, and I had my DSLR and started taking photos of the flash, and it was directed at Motion, which is the nightclub right next to it, and what was it? Some
there was some
bouncers. Some bouncers saw the flash, multiple flashes, and pointed at torches, shouted, "We're calling the police!" So we just legged it.
Yeah. This was actually while Christian and I were on the very top of the roof. So you'd go up the staircase, and you'd climb on the outside of the building up these wooden planks to get to the very top. At which point you had a fantastic view of the whole of Bristol. But then, about 7 minutes into that, Christian gets a phone call from Val.
It was Joan.
It was Joan,
something,
okay. Yeah, well, it was one of the guys that had been spotted. And then he puts the phone down, incredibly serious look on his face. The bouncer spotted them and they say they're going to call the police. So at this point, we just absolutely we're climbing down inside the building, we run down the entire staircase, we actually run and check and look over to see if the police have arrived at Motion or anything like that.
I mean, it took about 5 minutes, 10 minutes to get out.
Which was impressive considering how high up we were. Yeah.
So how many floors has it got? I'm trying to. It's quite a few.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
6. I think it's 6 floors. But then on the top, like I say, you can climb up the this sort of hut on the roof, which is quite high, to get to pseudo 7.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not too. You can't access the staircases easily.
No.
So it's not a case of just going down the stairs to get out.
Yeah. Which is why we did have to climb on the outside of the building. But then once we got to the staircase, easy from there.
I mean, we didn't end up going out the same route. We dropped down from the ledge.
Yeah, we got down to that floor before we crossed around the corner with a big drop, and we
just jumped down.
Yeah, basically jumped from the first floor to the ground floor.
Yeah,
and then went from there.
Yeah,
and then we climbed out.
Oh my god!
And we were happy, you know. We hadn't got caught. The police they can't do anything since they call it. If they do come, we'll be on the outside of the building. And then Jerome realizes you've left your bag inside.
My bag was on the first floor of the building. The first floor.
You just put it down to traverse.
Well, no, I had given it to someone to park across there, but then they'd crossed, and obviously they couldn't carry it themselves, so they left it there, and then nobody else picked it up, and then it just sat there until we got out of the building, and then I'm like, okay, let's go home, and I think, shit. Where the hell is my bag? So I ask everybody if it becomes clear that it's been left on the first floor. So I go back over the barbed wire 8-foot wall, down through under the fence into the actual compound itself, up through the machinery again, onto the first floor, across this plank. We haven't talked about the plank actually, so we'll go on to that.
The plank.
There was a plank across this corner, and again the drop was about, I don't know what, 7 meters, 6 meters, about that. Yeah. So again, enough to break an ankle. And there was a single wooden plank going across this corner, and there was nothing else you could do apart from trust it because you couldn't grab onto anything on the wall. But yeah, across there, managed to pick my bag up because that's where we left it. And then I went all the way back down, blah 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 blah, and then got out onto the outside of the building. Got outside of the actual area, and then we left. But then on the way down there, we had an interesting experience too outside Temple Meads,
You're on high alert at this point, looking for the police.
No, this is beforehand.
Was this beforehand?
When we were actually
looking for it.
When we were actually getting to the boss, because we couldn't find it at first. We weren't sure exactly where it was.
Actually, looking for the wood recycling place. Yeah, it's definitely a good idea.
A few of the places, I just remember I've seen pictures of people getting up scaffolding actually in the university. These things are amazing. I think part of the things that look really good is actually getting up high and being able to see the whole city.
I mean, as in people probably don't know who we are, so
fair enough.
We might as well start with the urban exploration. Why
we're disembodied voices.
The disembodied voices. I like that. I'm a spirit drifting through the podcast sphere.
Okay. So who are we? We're all engineering students at Bristol.
Yep. Engineering design.
Yeah. Of course. Yes, we've got to mention that.
Somebody's probably turned the podcast off right now.
People might think.
Definitely the mech engines anyway.
Definitely not mechs. Definitely not mechs. But with the amount of stuff we've kind of thought about doing as of now is particular as three. I'd say we seem to get involved with all sorts of random stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's only just getting started now, really. But over the course of 5 years, we'll have all sorts of stuff.
So don't worry, you'll see a Kickstarter sometime soon.
Definitely, that's on my list of things to do.
Indiegogo, Kickstarter.
So
maybe a political campaign.
Why not? Yeah. Just for the sake of it, just to tick it off. So we've done what else? We've got the maker sock.
It's build now. Yeah. Actually, that's a funny thing. Obviously, there's that curious coincidence.
Yeah, that was so strange. I mean, the idea for people who's listening is that me and Jerome, we kind of spend quite a bit of time building stuff, creating stuff.
Working on our own projects.
And we thought when we were coming to university there'd be more of a culture, but turns out there's basically none.
Yeah.
So a few of us, all from our course, along with Tom as well, decided to try and make a society based around the idea of having a space and time set aside to learn the skills and then have a hackathon style competition, but more practical kind of stuff. Kind of building real stuff, RC cars, Rube Goldberg machines, which we actually did.
We did the Rube Goldberg machine, that was interesting.
That was the most mental I've ever got at any point.
So it must have been at least 40 attempts we tried it.
This was in someone's kitchen. From a random selection of various materials brought from our flats, trying to assemble something that would... What would it do? What did it do in the end?
It was making a cup of tea. It's fantastic.
The start was to push the toaster button down.
Yeah,
and then it'd go all around the whole thing. Yeah. Push the toaster back up and using a homemade catapult system, throw a tea bag into a cup.
Yeah. So this is not kind of uncommon in Rube Goldberg machines, which is the basic idea is to just do something very menial in a very complex way. And ours was extremely complex, but it was also depressingly short.
Yeah, you spend how many hours have we spent on it? 9 or 10, something like that.
Yeah,
at least 7
most of the day,
and it lasted no more than 12 seconds at an absolute stretch.
Yeah.
Input a lot of time, you get very little out.
Yeah. It's glorious to see that motion.
Experience,
It's something you can definitely get hooked on.
Strongly recommend that.
I think, we've learned a bit that we're going to carry on to the end.
And the funny thing is, when we started the society, we kind of pitched it to Alan Chabanez, who's our teaser at Bristol Uni, and he said actually that some fourth years who were in the same course and also in his teaser group were working on exactly the same type of thing.
Yeah.
So we've kind of merged with them and taken over.
At our meeting, it's absolutely crazy. Yeah. These guys were at the exact same stage and had an almost identical committee and an almost identical plan for what to do. It was very, very odd. But it'll be delightful to hear.
It'll be useful having these fourth years who have a little bit more kudos within the faculty than
kudos. That's a good way of putting it. Yeah,
who's probably just going to annoy people. So what we're focusing currently on one specific area of the society, which is these competitions, and the first one is going to be Rube Goldberg machine.
Yeah,
that's our trial one.
It should be early March, late February.
Okay.
So
there's no point rushing it.
We've got a pretty big to-do list right now.
stuff going. And it's open to everyone, not just engineers. So if you have ever wondered how to make a cup of tea using a skateboard, a pair of crutches, a mallet, some string, a fire alarm, and a jug of water,
I imagine
then definitely come along to
most
it.
people probably have.
And a shower head.
Oh, and the shower, don't forget that, yeah.
That was kind of the
shower
crown
head.
jewel of
Yeah.
our assembly.
The thing I like about podcasts, you can literally just put it in your ears and do some work.
You can listen. Yeah, you can listen to
Yeah.
it on the way somewhere or
Yeah.
while you're working.
Going for a run. But yeah, we took the name Bristol Real by taking Brian Rose's offer of his global chapters thing. He went on the Joe Rogan Experience, I think 2011 or 12, and he made a challenge to anyone around the world. If you create your own podcast, have the name of your city and reel, and he'll have a look at it and see if he likes it. He'll promote it.
Is it only cities? So you couldn't make one for like, I don't know.
My house.
Trying to think of just like a really small village somewhere.
I'm sure you can, but
Yeah.
Burnislav.
I don't know.
Real.
Yeah. Population 52. What's been going on, guys?
Yeah. Well, 52 episodes. Then you do one a week. Then you sort it.
Yeah. That would be cool, wouldn't it?
Yeah. So in terms of what the content, I think we're going to be pretty varied.
we're going to have, for at least for the start, it's mainly going to be us three, maybe a student who we know, and then maybe
Or one that we don't.
Yeah, well,
Doesn't matter. Right?
I mean, yeah, we need to.
Someone off the
Yeah.
street.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of topics lined up.
Can be anyone.
What have we got? Space exploration, religion, education, Apple, terrorism, feminism, drugs. All very similar things, aren't they? Annoying shit.
That'd be a good one though. I
Yeah.
think.
Maybe we'll do that one too.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things that annoy
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, there's plenty.
Coffee.
Oh, Zeitgeist. I'm looking forward to that one. God, I'm going to butcher that thing.
I don't know. I'll have to. Spot
Underlying points, I agree with for the most part. Some of the other stuff, absolute crock of shit.
We'll leave that for that time.
Yeah.
Maybe when we after a bit of experience and we get a bit of listeners, maybe we can try and get a few academics on, talk about their research, things like that. It'd be cool to get a neuroscientist.
Yeah,
talking
you remember
about
when we were in that
consciousness
coffee
and-
shop? You know, what's the name of the coffee shop that we hang out in?
Didn't you do well?
Did you do well?
Didn't
Yeah,
you
that
do
really
well?
sarcastic one.
Yeah.
There was that guy that they were speaking to there.
Oh yeah, he was saying they were recording the video.
Yeah.
Was he a neuroscientist?
I think he said he was. He was looking into
yeah.
neurons. You were telling me about what he did, so I assume you
I
must
can't remember
No,
now.
it was
I don't
really
remember.
interesting what this guy was doing.
Yeah, it's amazing being in university and being surrounded by these people
Yeah.
all the time.
I mean, you don't like you could be sitting next to someone in a lecture and they're working on something really really interesting. But you
Yeah.
just
Yeah, it's something that definitely needs to be embraced, and
Yeah.
we will be the ones to do it.
Yep.
Hopefully.